Horizon Zero Dawn is a fantastic game, and one of its strongest points is the well thought out and intricate story. The story can be hard to follow at times, so today I'm going to be explaining the major plot points of the game, as well as explaining what actually happens in the ending. There are several smaller subplots that don't affect the story very drastically, so for the sake of time, I'll only be detailing what is the most important information. Be warned, major spoilers ahead. The setting for Horizon is several hundred years in the future. Humans live in primitive tribes and cities, and the world is populated by various types of roaming machines. The story of Horizon begins with Aloy, a child born under mysterious circumstances, who is deemed an outcast by the elders of the tribe known as the Nora. Aloy is raised by another Nora outcast named Rost. When Aloy is a young child, she falls into some ancient ruins and happens upon a mechanical device known as a focus. This focus allows Aloy to scan the environment around her and track the various machines in the wild. After leaving the ruins, Rost and Aloy reunite, and Rost trains her in how to survive in the wild and hunt. During this training, Aloy rescues a Nora Brave, who is in danger from roaming machines. As the Brave tried to thank her, he was cut off by other members of the Nora tribe and told not to speak to the outcasts. Aloy doesn't understand, and after pleading with Rost to have him tell her why she is an outcast and who her mother is, Rost trains Aloy so she can compete in a Nora ritual known as the Proving. If Aloy wins the Proving, she can ask the matriarchs or the elders of the Nora anything that she wants, and so Aloy sees this as the opportunity to find out who her mother actually is. Now 19 years old, Aloy enters the Nora's tribe main location of Mother's Heart. There she meets a man named Olin, who is also wearing a focus. Olin is the only other person she's ever seen wearing a focus. Olin isn't very willing to answer any of Aloy's questions, so she leaves him be and rests up for the Proving. Aloy goes on to win the Proving, but before she can celebrate, the Nora are attacked by a mysterious group of killers who massacre most of the Nora Braves. Rost shows up at the last minute to save Aloy from the leader of the attackers, but gets killed in the process. Aloy awakens after the attack back in Mother's Heart. Aloy examines a focus that she found on one of the attackers and discovers that they were looking to kill a woman that looks surprisingly like her. She learns that she was being watched through Olin's focus, and she now decides that she needs to locate him to learn more. She also learns that she was found as a baby by the matriarchs in an area that only they had access to, just outside of a giant metal door that they refer to as All-Mother. Aloy tries to open the door, but isn't successful due to data corruption. She does find out that she is a DNA match for the door, and that the woman who looks like her is somehow connected to this metal door. Aloy sets out for the city of Meridian, which is the home of the Carja and the location of Olin. The Carja are a tribe of people who worship the sun. No, not like that, Solaire. You go back to your own game. The Carja had a mad king who was needlessly cruel and sacrificed many people. The mad king was overthrown by his own son Avad, and Avad is now king of the Carja. As king, Avad has cast out many of his father's old allies and companions. Once in Meridian, Aloy finds that Olin is at a dig site and sets out to confront him about what he knows. Once you locate Olin, you see one of the killers revive an ancient machine that was excavated from the dig site. This machine is known as a corruptor, and it has the ability to take over various other machines. Once you defeat the killers and the corruptor, Olin tells you that the killers are a group of Carja who were cast out of the kingdom once the Mad King was overthrown, and that they're being led by the Mad King's greatest warrior, Helis. Helis' main motivation is that he wants to take back his home of Meridian and bring retribution to his people who have been cast out. Olin tells you that the Eclipse worship an entity known as Hades, and that Hades was the one who ordered Aloy killed. As Aloy continues to search for answers, she heads for a place named Maker's End. She's contacted by a mysterious man who we later find out is named Silence. Silence tells Aloy the woman who looks like her is named Elizabeth Sobek. Inside Maker's End, Aloy learns that hundreds of years ago, a company called Feral Automated Solutions created military robots, and that they glitched and began self-replicating and consuming biomass as a fuel. You learn that the Corruptors are what is actually known as Scarabs, and that giant robot replicating machines known as Horuses created more and more robots exponentially. They had no way to shut the robots down, and Elizabeth Sobek was consulted by the owner of Feral Automated Systems, Ted Faro, to come up with a solution to the problem, as the robots would destroy all life on Earth in 15 months. A bit later, you learn that Sobek created a program called Project Zero Dawn, and utilizing the greatest minds in engineering, history, and robotics, devised a plan to preserve life. Life couldn't be saved from the robot threat, so Zero Dawn was created as a seed to help create life anew after the extinction. An AI named Gaia was created and given the knowledge and tools necessary to rebuild the biosphere and repopulate the planet with humans and animals. Gaia could design and create any robot needed to do whatever task that she needed, and that fully explains the origin of the current machines that we see in the game. Embryos and genetic data gave birth to a brand new group of humans in mechanical wombs. Make no mistake, everything on Earth was wiped out, and Zero Dawn was a fresh start for everything. Gaia had 8 subordinate functions to help with the rebuilding of Earth. One was Apollo, which was designed to store and archive all of humanity's knowledge for the use of future humans. Another was known as Hades. Hades was extinction on demand. It was designed in the event that Gaia had made a drastic mistake that couldn't be corrected, and it required a restart. Hades could take over and wipe the slate clean. For some reason, Hades was activated 19 years ago, and Gaia birthed an Elizabeth Sobek clone in an artificial womb so that she could be raised into adulthood, and so that she could put a stop to Hades and reboot Gaia, since Sobek was the creator of Gaia, and Gaia knew that she would be able to access the necessary system functions to save everything on Earth. It's also revealed that Elizabeth Sobek gave her own life just to ensure that the Gaia program was functional. There was an issue with some spacing on some ventilation, and she had to go out in the inhospitable environment of a destroyed Earth to make sure that that vent was sealed properly, and in the process she was never able to return to the bunker. After these events, Ted Faro deletes all of the data from the Apollo files. He does this because he wants to ensure that the new humans don't follow in their footsteps and make the same mistakes as them. So literally, he deleted all of the cultural, historical, and intellectual knowledge from so many generations of humans and denied the new humans the opportunity at lifetimes worth of knowledge. A bit later, Silence reveals that he was actually the one who located Hades and repaired it after tracking a signal. Silence was given knowledge in exchange for assisting Hades in building an army. Silence used the Karja Civil War to trick the Eclipse into believing that Hades was the buried shadow of their legends, and that they could use his power to take back their homeland of Meridian. After Silence outlived his usefulness, Hades ordered Helus and the rest of the Eclipse to kill Silence. Silence went into hiding and assisted Aloy as a means to redeem himself for his wrongdoings. He tells you that Hades was interested in the spire located outside of Meridian, and Aloy determines that Hades hopes to connect to this spire that was created by Gaia to deactivate the war machines that previously destroyed all life on Earth, and use it to reawaken the machines so that they can again destroy everything. Aloy goes on to defeat Hades and put an end to his attempts to destroy all life, and then makes her way to Elizabeth Sobek's home, bringing some much needed closure to herself and her origins. After the credits, we see a cutscene where the remains of Hades is laying on the ground, and this AI sort of blast of energy contained inside shoots out and traverses the sky. The energy is captured in a lantern-like device by Silence, who then gives a very ominous speech to Hades, saying they have much to discuss, including who his masters are and who sent the signal that woke the murderous AI. The most chilling part about this cliffhanger is the fact that when Silence is talking to Hades, there is actually a Horus in the background. You know, those giant machines that make the other machines. So I think that this definitely sets us up for a sequel to Horizon Zero Dawn. This cliffhanger is amazing, and overall this story has to be one of my favorites from a game in several years. Now, before I wrap this video up, I just want to say, you know, these story explained videos, they typically take a ton of time to make. So if you guys enjoyed this, please be sure to leave a like on it. I would really appreciate it. And if you guys are new to Split Screen, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications for the latest gaming news, guides, reviews, and entertainment. If you have any other Horizon Zero Dawn questions, be sure to ask in the comments below and I'll answer. There's a ton of stuff that I left out, a lot of little details that are very interesting, but I just wanted to cover the basics here, that way you guys could get a better understanding. So, that wraps up everything. I want to thank you guys so much for your time. My name is Cody. You guys have an awesome day.